no central bank digital currency. I'm so happy about that because that's a means of surveillance of the American people. But we want to make sure people can have individual wallets for their Bitcoin so they have that sovereign over their own money. We know we want the US dollar to remain strong. And actually having Bitcoin in reserve can help the US dollar remain strong.
I knew a little bit about Bitcoin, and I actually got introduced to it after the Ottawa trucker strike, when the government of Ottawa shut down everybody's bank account who was participating in a peaceful public protest. And I realized that transactional freedom was as important as freedom of speech, because if the government can starve you to death and get you thrown out of your home and make it so you can't buy gasoline without ever charging you with a crime, without ever convicting you of a crime, just because you complained about a government policy, then freedom of speech is meaningless. Bitcoin clearly was an answer to that, and that's what brought me to that Miami conference. I left that conference utterly enthusiastic about the capacity of Bitcoin to solve a whole host of other problems, cybersecurity problems. It is the currency of freedom. It gives transparency to government. It democratizes our government. It's a hedge against inflation. It's an off-road to these terrible $34 trillion deficit that it can save us from. And it stops government from just printing money, which is the only way to really end war.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're going to get more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy. And you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the NWO book and the Crypto Teacher book. The NWO book shows you how the world really works, and especially in the times that we're in right now, it's definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep. And in 2025, the NWO is going to turn on that alarm clock. It's up to you whether you wake up or not, whether you're going to hit that snooze button. Remember, my people perish from the lack of knowledge because they reject it. And guys, we're going to see stablecoin regulation, which is the foundation of this new digital economy, and it sets up down the road 2028, 2029 for that free money. And then also, of course, in the first quarter of 2025, we always get a correction. But we have trillions of dollars sitting on the sideline in money market accounts. And then plus, we know the Fed is going to cut rates. Not a lot this year, but they're definitely going to cut rates. So I see us getting a correction and then moving back up. And then we have the two powerhouses, China and the U.S., will step up these tariffs on each other. And of course, guys, that's going to hit certain parts of the market. But then we also have the hacks. We have the Birdman. We have the drums are beaten and more movies to come, as we can see. And inflation is going to stay sticky, and layoffs are going to step up while they move in all this automation. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now, we have Bitcoin, cryptos, and stocks pumping. And we know in crypto, this is like clockwork. But like I told you, I don't see a big pump in Bitcoin. The altcoins are going to benefit. And what's the narrative? We know it's the meme coins and we know it's AI. Make sure you're doing your research. Now we have Michael Saylor buys another 1,000 Bitcoin. And remember, guys, I told you, that strategy is definitely going to change because we're going to see the Fed start shrinking liquidity. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates right now, short and down, long and up. And we know no one wants this long-term paper, and we're going to continue to see this long end continue to rise. And that means mortgage rates are going to continue to rise, and that's going to weigh on the housing market, which we know that's part of the plan. So therefore, they can push this affordable housing. 3D printed homes right around the corner. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have the dollar down, but still strong. And that's hurting the emerging markets, but we know the emerging markets already have the plan on getting off the dollar, especially the BRICS led by China. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then, of course, we have volume and crypto up. We have Tether and USDC. And then we have the Fed. Repo at $237 billion on Friday. Make sure you're pulling that on a daily basis during the week. And we know the Fed wants to keep rates higher for longer in order to destroy this legacy market so the fourth industrial revolution can rise. And in about 2 weeks, we're going to get a new president that's going to be able to push that agenda. And we had the Washington Post come out with an article, and then also CNBC spoke on it, stating that Trump was going to target the tariffs so they wouldn't be so bad. And of course, Trump sends out a tweet on Truth Social that says that was not correct, and you don't hear any type of correction on this article or CNBC, because I actually watched it myself on CNBC, and that made me look it up to see whether it was true or not, and I found the Truth Social post that Trump stated that it wasn't. But these tariffs are definitely going to weigh on the actual economy the same way China's restrictions on these defense companies are going to weigh on the economy. They're definitely going to lay off in the name of China. And the only reason why employment was staying up is due to the government. A lot of that came from the medical field and defense. And we've heard from Mike Johnson. We've heard from Doge. We've heard from Trump. They're going to cut. But they're not giving you the reason why they're going to be cutting government. We know the reason about this new digital economy, but the sheep have no clue. No more fractional reserve. Real-time settlement. That means you need plenty of liquidity, and then it also means less banks. And if the robots, algorithms, and drones are taking over the economy, that means less taxes. All these moves that are being made are for the fourth industrial revolution. When Trump says no taxes on waiters' tips, that's because you're not going to be waiting on the people. It's going to be the machines that's waiting on the people. So when you understand this new fourth industrial revolution, you understand the chess pieces that are being made. And that's the reason why I created this channel. That's the reason why I wrote my book. And this last book I'm putting out is really going to throw you for a loop. Because in my book, I go on the spiritual side, not just what we see, the physical. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the Bitcoin, Ethereum spot ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale. Bitcoin, Ethereum spot ETFs right now are up. Now getting over into a little crypto news. We have MoonPay, BitState, ZBD, and Hidden Road secure MiCA licenses in the Netherlands, enabling operations across all 27 member states. And when it comes to this new digital economy, I don't care what country you go to, they all have a plan. And remember, guys, plans move in phases. This doesn't happen overnight. That's why I tell you, 2025 to 2028, Trump's job is to land us in this fourth industrial revolution, and that takes time. But when you know about the plan, you can play chess and benefit. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then lastly, guys, I went over this last night. We have Brad Garlinghouse says the U.S. is back open for business for crypto due to Trump. And before, when Trump was in office, he signed executive orders for research on all this technology. And while we have majority of the sheep cheering on Trump, we know Trump's job is to deceive the globe. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books. Crypto Teacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance, Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.